plays. They did a great job. There's not anything positive that I can take away from today. Anytime that something like this occurs, I think you got to look inward first and foremost. Didn't do nearly a good enough job, and there is so many things that we have to go back and look at, and it's 3 hours. It was an incredibly humbling 3-hour window. They did what they wanted to do from the jump. We didn't do anything to give ourselves a chance. Guys kept battling, but we got to be able to figure it out. We have a lot of reasons to make excuses, but ultimately they came in, they were ready to go. They got after us, and we didn't do a good enough job, and that always starts with me.
Sean, do you have an update on Cooper?
He got his ankle. I don't know the significance of it, but I know it's an ankle. And then John Johnson got his shoulder. That's all I know injury-wise.
Sean, do you feel coming in, when you reflect on what this game was coming in, do you feel your defense was prepared for the ways the Cardinals attacked you today?
Yeah, there was a lot of things, and they made some of those plays, Jordan. Ultimately we didn't. We'll go back and we'll look at the film. I could say the same thing about the offense. We didn't handle any movement. Those were things that we anticipated. We couldn't even begin to get any chance for Kyron Williams to be able to get going. And I always think about, all right, am I putting the players in the positions to be able to go have success? There are times that, we could collectively all be better, and, it starts with us. We got to do a good job leading as coaches, put together a plan. And that's what we'll do, and that's what we're going to try to do. But today, this was one of those days that's really humbling, and fortunately, we haven't felt many of these things. But tough times don't last. Tough people do. There's a lot of things that have gone not necessarily according to plan through the first couple weeks. But today was not something that I anticipated. But you could feel from the jump they had momentum. They took it away from us. We weren't able to establish it, even especially after Quorum does a great job on the opening kick return. We go 8 yards on the first play, then we take a negative, don't convert on the third down, drop it, and then end up not converting on a fourth down little perimeter screen. And that was kind of indicative of what the day was going to be. And they were able to do the things that we knew they couldn't do from an offensive perspective. They got the run game going. Kyler made plays off schedule, knew they were going to try to get Harrison involved. He made his presence felt right away. I'll just be real with you guys. There's nothing positive about it. The only positive thing is that this game is over now and we can move forward.
Coach, what made it so tough trying to corral Kyler today?
And we just couldn't tackle him. There was opportunities. You look at some of the plays. We had 3 guys around him. He ended up escaping and hits an off-schedule touchdown. Does the same thing on a third down by our sideline. So, we just weren't able to get to him. His athleticism shined. He made a lot of plays, and you got to give him credit, and we got to be able to learn from it.
You've never been 0-2 to start a season. This is kind of a new thing.
Yeah.
How do you kind of turn that around?
Well, you know what? I think you go back to work, Gary. There's a lot of football left. There's a lot of things that you experience for the first time, and so how you handle it is what's the important thing. You guys have heard me talk about that. This is one of those days that, that pit in your stomach is a tough pill to be able to swallow, but this is what we signed up for. We didn't sign up for just the positive moments, the team staying healthy, all I know how to do is try to go back to work, keep my head high, figure out some better solutions. There clearly wasn't enough answers for our players to go have success today. How do we communicate with clarity? How do we put guys in some better spots? And that's collectively, and it always starts with me, and that's all I know how to do. I'm not even worried about 0-2. I'm worried about how do we play better football. That was not a good product today. That was not something that we're okay with, and I know I speak for our players and coaches when I say that.
Sean, a couple years ago we saw Stafford get beat up pretty good. Just how kind of 5 sacks today, just kind of how concerned are you with it?
Well, some of those were such fast beats too that it's tough. You can't really get anything going if you don't have the opportunity to let stuff develop. And we got a lot of guys in some different spots, but it wasn't good enough. I try not to reflect on, some negative things from the past. He kept battling, but today was, like I said, not a positive day. I'm not going to have a lot of answers because, I need to be able to figure some out myself for you guys. But today was not good. You can't get Matthew, you can't get him hit that quickly. We have to be able to do a good job. And like I said, it always starts with me. We'll look at the film, and then, we'll try to apply solution-oriented approaches and thoughts. Because that's the only damn thing we can do.
Did you have any thoughts of getting him out of there?
I made the decision to exclusively run it at the end. I didn't want to put Stetson in a situation and never taken some of the snaps and exchanges and that. So felt like he was going to be out of harm's way when we got those guys in towards the latter part, and we made the decision no matter what occurred, we weren't going to throw the football, and that was why we left him in. But But yes, I did think about that for sure. That was something that crossed my mind. But because of the approach we decided to take, that was what led to that.
What's the psyche of the locker room, just dealing with so many injuries early on?
Yeah, you know what? I don't know. You'll have to talk to those guys. I know they continue to fight. We got a lot of mentally tough people in that room. And these are these moments where you get tested. I know when I look back on moments of growth for me, they never occurred in good times. They only occurred in moments like this. And this is one of those moments that you get that pit in your gut and you got a choice. Hey, you want to attack it or do you want to fold? All right, and I'm betting on a lot of the guys that they're going to be the kind of guys that are going to raise their head high. They're going to go back to work. These are humbling moments. These aren't moments that you love to be able to have. But if you got the right growth mindset, then you take it in stride. You handle it like a man, and that's exactly what I expect our coaches, players to do, and that's what I expect of myself as well.
Coach, what are your thoughts around the physicality of the game?
Yeah, I mean, they got after us. There's, like I said, I thought I need to look at the tape in totality, but we didn't handle any sort of movement in the run game. We weren't able to break any sort of tackles, and they were able to do the opposite on the other side of the ball. So that's not a positive. They got after us in every way that they could. You give Jonathan Gannon and his group a ton of credit. You know, they earned that win. I don't want to take away from it, but we didn't do the things that we need to do to play at a better clip. And it's early in the season, and we'll see what it looks like moving forward.
Last one, guys.
I know you're not making injury excuses, but is there any answers to getting that movement beyond getting guys back and healthy on the offense?
Yeah, I've got to really kind of digest it and think about it. You know, all we can do is operate with the situation, the circumstances that we do have. Clearly, there's a lot of reasons, and there's a lot of lack of continuity, and that showed in a big way today. But this is the hand that we're dealt. We got to be able to figure it out. And you know, we'll get Alaric back this week, and we'll see. We'll see how we come out of this game. But you know, whether guys are able to go or not, it provides opportunities for other guys. And this is the NFL. I mean, these are situations that unfortunately we have been in before, and I've got to do a good job of figuring out how to navigate that and make sure that we're proud of controlling the things that we can control, maximizing the situation and the circumstances that we're placed in. And this is not a fun place to be in as a competitor. You guys know me. I mean, this chaps me to no end, but it doesn't do any good to sit here and dwell on it. What I'm not going to do is pout about this shit. All right, I'm going to figure out, all right, how can I go respond in a manner that's reflective of what I ask of our guys, and that's exactly what you guys are going to see. Thank you.